Hello everyone, nice to see you. And we're on Project 2 of the Joy of Functional Game Dev, Episode 2. The GitHub has a release v0.1 that you can grab if you're following along, or you can check out later to check out what happened during the episode, doing a little diff. Of course, you can always just go to the repo and see the change sets and see what the differences are. That's about enough of that. Going on to Trello. Last time we queried the SDL version. We did some level of initialization and shutdown, but we want to do a init subsystem, quit subsystem, and was init. And in error handling, we were stymied a bit. Well, I was stymied a bit by get error and the char pointer that it returned. I did some poking around. I looked at marshalling, and the big clue was in the binding, in the C# binding, because it makes use of this LP-UTF-8 string marshaller. And I said, okay, well, let's take a look at what is going on there, because I was able to get it to spitting out an int pointer. And so that's great. And so in the marshalling of here, basically what happens is, well, it checks that, hey, if it's a 0, then it's an empty, and then it's a null. But otherwise, cast it to a byte pointer, copy the bytes, and then do a encoding UTF-8 get string. So we're going to do something similar, except that in my investigations of, okay, so how do you do a byte pointer in F#, was wound up a little bit differently, and this is the way I found. I'm not going to state in any way that it is the only way of doing things, but this is what I've done figured out, and I've restored everything back to the state it was. I had a bunch of breakpoints and had errors and whatever. So SDL error get is no longer going to just get the SDL error. There's going to be another function that's going to probably wind up as a utility function that I'm going to use quite often. But so let I don't know, string, it's really int pointer to string UTF-8, and it takes a pointer, which is in a system.int pointer, and it will spit me out a string. So at the moment, we're just going to have it spit me out string.empty. Is there a... You know what? Spit me out that for now. So it's going to get that, and it's going to send it to int pointer to string UTF-8. And that way get returns me that. I am unclear yet as to whether or not this needs to get similar treatment on the way back. I don't know. I think that it may, because here in my manage to native, well, let's back up. So SDL2, I want to check out his implementation of SDL set error. See, it's also custom marshalling that, so I need to do a similar thing to go back, and that's okay. We can do this, and we're gonna work through it. And it was kind of an unfamiliar and harrowing experience for me. and maybe you can watch me flail around a bit today. And then so really this should also be in system.int pointer thumped, and then have my set. So let string utf8 to int putter stir, which is a string. That's going to spit me out an int putter. Kind of. It may have to spit me out something else. So we're gonna, but for now we're going to system int putter 0. So that's going to equals system int pointer 0. So system dot. And then I know at this point, how many times have I put system in? Yeah, you know what? Alright. You win. Because I mean, how many other times is int pointer here? So the error string, which it thinks is an int putter, it's not an error string. Well, it is an error string. Yeah, but we're going to send it through string utf8 to int putter. And so now it is a string that gets set to an int pointer. And we're not going to allow the SDL set error to do the formatting. We will do the formatting prior to sending it to here. So we have the sprintf. We will leave this private for now. But now we've got the stubs, and now we're going to take it. And this should be highly, highly interesting, because there is, well, first off, it's going to be a trip to Nowhere 9. It's the planet Nowhere 9, where we're interfacing with a C library anyway, so safety is, you have to partially take off the mittens of .NET in order to do this. So I'm coming off of my get. I'm going to get get error, and so I've got a pointer. Now, and we have to have our handy dandy native interop of native int, or to native int. Hold on. So I don't want this one. I'm not doing this one right now. Here, I got an int pointer. So ptr, I want to convert you to a native int. Now it has a native int. And then, now I also have to open Microsoft sharp.native interop. And now things are going to get wacky. So native pointer of native int. So we're going to have a native pointer. So native pointer of native int. And we want to byte. And then that should, see, it expects a string. So we're just going to have it give a string whatever, and now it's just going to say, hey, this should be unit. But at this point, and actually, you know what? Put an equal // Well, that's probably some weird operator. All right. So now we know we have to eventually get to a string. which kind of weird operator is that? It's thinking. Oh, nope, we don't think you're the bizarre double chin slanty face. I don't know. Whatever. So, native int. So now we're at a native pointer byte. Actually, we're going to bind that. Let byte pointer equal that stuff. Because at this point, we need to take our byte pointer. That's the let binding. Okay. We need to take our byte pointer, and we're going to. I don't know exactly how we want to do this. Is it a while? I need to do a fold. Because basically, I would normally. I don't want to do a while. I don't even know how to do a while in F sharp. While do. See, it's just bothering me. I don't want to do a mutable thing. I want to do a fold. It's just I don't know. So essentially, while the byte pointer is not. Well, actually, if. So also I'm not checking the end pointer for end pointer 0. So I'm going to go if ptr equal int ptr 0, then null, else this. Okay. So we get the let byte pointer. There's not a fold in here, is there? I'd like to. Stack elect native int, right. Because essentially, it is a while byte ptr.read to ptr read. While that anything 0, do a thing. It is less than equal to. That is the operator, right? I don't think it's a not. I don't think it's the bang equal. Haven't had to do this one. So while there's not that, I may. I hate it. Hate it. Let mutable byte array of bytes. It's really a byte sequence. Equal seek dot empty sequence empty. What are you? Object. Byte empty of byte. So a byte sequence, it's an empty sequence of bytes. Well, we'll do it this way, and I don't really like it, but read is not equal 0. Byte sequence seek dot append byte ptr. Reading it twice. Hate that too. Apparently I'm doing something wrong here. What is it? Type unit doesn't have null as a proper value. That's true. So the byte sequence. Yeah, okay. Let's look. Where's my while loop? I'll continue looping. Do that. I think I need a mutable byte pointer too. Or do yeah. I need a mutable byte pointer. byte pointer, data ptr add, yep, we're gonna flail at while there's a condition, do a something, so we have to be tucking something. So rand mutable continued looping random number generator. This is such an awful example. So while sequence do eek. I don't know what the problem is. Type unit doesn't have null as a proper value. Well, we're gonna change that to string. Okay. So I see. All right. Once we have byte sequence, we've got encoding.utf8 get string bytes. We got that, so I want that. What are my quick actions? System.text has to have that. Sequence to array. Tell me that we're now friendly, we're cool. Alright. So the byte sequence will be that. Do that. There, B. I think B is the I am a byte. I literally say byte 0. F sharp byte literals. Sort byte UI. What? UI, of course, because. Alright then, we will just try. UI. Oh, we're happy now. UI? Yeah, I don't have an emoji for that. Alright. So we want the byte sequence to have the byte sequence appended that, and we want the byte pointer to be the byte pointer native pointer dot add, and that's a. Let's look at the documentations. Pointer add. There's an int. All right. 1. So wait, is that add? Am I doing this wrong? Okay. Native pointer add byte ptr 1. Is that right? Ah, okay. So add, which takes a native pointer and an int. So piping doesn't make a lot of sense then. Because in order to pipe it, I would do that. Seems weird. But okay. So come in, if it's a 0 pointer, we'd return null, which is a string. I think we don't have to cast that anymore. Otherwise, we have a byte pointer which is going to move, and we're going to take the pointer that we were passed, make it into a native int. We're going to bring it over through native pointer of native int. So we now have a byte pointer. We have to start with an empty byte sequence, and we're going to put them in there, and so then so what bugs me here is that because it was working before. I'm going to leave this. I'm going to leave this with string format. We're not going to mess with it. Leastwise not yet. Alright. So now we've got error get print on %s. This should work, right? Print fun. So, get which returns a string. So, we're ready to go. We're ready to try it. Is it going to work? Are you going to work? Oh, you did. What'd you say? Here's nothing. Okay. Alright. Bunk. Alright, we're going to try it and work. Please work. Please, please, please work. Boom. To set. Now, did I tell it to t-set? No. I said test. So I do need to magically marshal it back. Alright. But that means I can always get the error out. I cannot set the error yet. Can't correctly set the error. So in error handling, I'm going to actually add an item. So SDL set error UTF-8. But SDL get error, we've done that. And I am now much more certain on how to do it. But the problem is this. I wind up getting, because now I'm thinking about memory, because I'm going to have a managed thing. So basically you go backwards. So I'm going to go encoding UTF-8 get bytes. And so I'm going to have a byte array, but then how do I get the address of the, I suppose I just get the address of that. So get the error string. Let's just try it right in here. Encoding UTF-8 get bytes. Get bytes for error string. Let bytes equal that. So then I have the bytes. It can't tell the difference between... it doesn't. Okay. We're going to tell you it's a string. That way, you'll be less confused. But I gotta say that for being as heralded as it is, type inference is I find it to be less and less useful as I go along. So it is tells like, oh no, don't have to put any types on things because it'll be inferred. Yeah, not really feeling that experience. Just going to be honest. I think I've said it before. So take my bytes, and then how do I get from my byte array? Oh, let's see, .NET from a byte array. .NET byte array to int pointer. Just come on, man. You gotta be able to do it. How to get an importer from a byte. Pointer unmanaged pointer. Alright. Copy data for use. Okay, I can just pin the array. Alright. I haven't really done too much of this interrupt stuff. It's actually kind of interesting. So, GHC handle. So I will pin the array. I think this is my answer. Yes, it's a C# answer, but we're going to make it into an F# answer. So let's put it here. Okay, see? We're going to pin the array. So GC handle alloc bytes GC handle pin handle type dot pinned. Okay, so now let pinned array equal that, and let ptr equal pinned array dot the adder of pinned object, and we're going to put ptr in there. Going to ignore that, and then we're going to pinned array dot free. So we clean everything up, but ptr isn't right, so we're going to go int ptr. And then, if we'll leave that in there just in case. So if we've read this correctly, we'll actually go hello world, and if hello world comes back out, I see. Interesting. I went back. Okay. Here's my question. Am I interesting? Am I reading it backwards, or am I I won't know. I don't know. Am I reading it backwards, or am I setting it backwards? I don't know which. Huh. Well, in any case, that's interesting. I don't think I am. So let me look. Here I am. Well, I can read. Unless the sequence append actually append? Oh. Oh, I see. Here's is that right? Is that so I append source 1, source, okay. So sequence append, so I take that and I append it to that. Okay. I was reading it backwards. So, nope, I didn't. I managed to, okay, that could have been a long time. Alright. Hello world. Alright, so now I'm setting it, I'm clearing, I'm reading it initially, it's not blowing up, I'm setting it and reading it, I'm clearing it, I'm reading it. Okay, we have done it. It is correct. We can carry on to our next groovy task. Yeah, only took half an hour. Only took half an hour to read out a character array in UTF-8 with a C library. Let's see. Should I will? You know what? I'll upvote that guy. Thanks, dude. You were helpful. Remember, when you get a Stack Overflow, be sure to actually log in, and when you find something useful, upvote it so that others can. Because that's how it works, kids. We gotta all work together because Stack Overflow is like the other person at work. All right, we don't need literals anymore. We do still need that. We got yay, which means we are squee. Let's move that on over. Good for us. See, what's really great with the little checklist is that you get to really feel like, okay, 0 of 3 or 2 of 2. I've accomplished something. Trello is really good at kind of gamifying your project, and also I just really like using the label colors because I think that's really quite helpful. So an initialization shutdown, I know we want init subsystem, quit subsystem, and was init. And so shall we do those or shall we do something cool instead? you want to initialize subsystems and check what they are? That was fascinating. It's like, oh, you're going to have a set error strings and then read them? You're so fascinating. All right. Really, quite frankly, I would like to move on to something else. I would like to see a window and a renderer. That's what I want. And one of the things I've done here, this is in sdlvideo.h. The great parts of this is in sdlvideo.h. I downloaded the dev zip for this, so I can actually I got an actual H file. We can look at an actual H file. So, but let us make, at least initially, we want to create window, and I want to create a window. I want to create a window, destroy a window. Yeah, we're gonna add a special card for it. So we go with the window renderer basics, because I don't want to do a whole lot of stuff here, and I'm shaky again because it's p invoking and weird stuff that I never think about in .NET. But so here's the checklist. The checklist is the to-dos. And the first thing we want to be able to create window, destroy window. Is there like a create? Is there any other way to make we have all these set window, whatever. There's create window and render. Is there like a renderer? Here it is, renderer. So create renderer. Do I have to destroy renderer? Delete renderer? Destroy renderer. Alright. Okay. But while in doing it, so I have to create window, destroy window, create renderer, destroy renderer, but I also need to do some basic event handling. And I want to do still has event, certain type of event. We will do SDL. We have to do wait event. And this will be a very, very interesting thing. So we have to do some eventing because we have to do an SDL wait event in order to do any sort of SDL thing. So wait event. Okay, we must do these 5 things or else we've got no point in doing anything at all. And this actually gives us the ability to do some stuff. And shall we? Well, we need a window, we need a renderer, and let's get to them. So this is SDL video, and then the SDL render is the place where I have create render. So we're going to SDL create window. And then are these in UTF-8 encoding? So how indeed shall we do this stuff? So, yes sir. Alright. So let's take, do we call it SDL window? What do we do? Alright, we're going to have one called SDL window, one called SDL. We're going to do it. SDL window. Window. Another one. SDL render. And another one called SDL event. Okay. These all gotta move. Oop, nope. Back. Alt. Remember kids, it's Alt. Event. And it's almost time for a folder. In fact, is it time for the folder? It is. Okay, save everything. Add a folder. No, F# Power Tools, new folder. Call it SDL. And save it. And close Visual Studio. And reopen Visual Studio. Just thinking about it. And the folder doesn't bring an empty folder in? How lovely. Okay, let's try that again. F# Power Tools, new folder. SDL. Existing folder has been added. So let's move to folder. We'll just move them all to the folder. Well, I think one should do, right? And then, yeah, sure, we'll pretend like this will work. And we'll build it. Watch now, it'll actually work. Did it work? It did. I don't get it. Steel Power Tools, move to the folder. I'm just so jaded. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Visual Studio. At my job, we often refer to it that Visual Studio got tired. And there's really nothing for it. F# Power Tools, move to folder SDL. Yeah, I promise we will do things other than move files around. Just a minute. But I know you're all riveted to the screen like, oh man, sure hope we get to move some more files around. That would be awesome. And event render window. Okay. So what we need here in SDL video, we got to make an equivalent of that, and that's going to be another int pointer. So we need that one. Let's bring them all. Let's bring both of them in since we're there. Should we also have SDL destroy window? Where's SDL destroy window? Did I misspell it? So, display and window management. Where are you? SDL destroy window, so there's an SDL window. It's one of those things where it's not actually a... Well, we're gonna believe you here. SDL window star. SDL window star. New places. Here's get window from ID. Set the title, set the icon, set the window data, get positions and sizes and minimum sizes and all this other junk. Hide, show, maximize, minimize. Really? They certainly help. Well, yeah, well here it is. Was it? I must have been misspelling it. I probably spelled something like D-story. That happens all the time. Anyway. So, and for destroy window, so, same pattern as here. Get some interop services going on. And for the moment, we're going to module private, what do we call it in SDL version? It's just SDL version native, SDL window native, extern, and we're going to open system as well. At the moment, while we know they're SDL window pointers, we're going to deal with int pointers. The same thing will be here. This will be an int pointer. ptr tr title int x int y. We'll put an equal sign there. That one's a uint32. It's a void. int ptr. Because of the right. So, I'm going to deal with that stuff. So SDL window create and destroy. But what do we want? What do we want representing the window to the world? And that is, what I really need to do is take a look up top here. And where is SDL window? SDL window. Of course, SDL struct SDL window, SDL window. And where are you? What? Incorrect surface. Is it in surface? Finding stuff. Finding stuff is fun. SDL window. Nope. Not in that guy. SDL rect, SDL std inc. Struct. Or it doesn't even really know. SDL window is an SDL window, and we don't really have a concept of what that means. Alright. Yeah, so I got like no idea. So it's an int pointer. And so, how do we do with that? I guess type, what would I call, so there's an SDL version, there's a type there. So I have a type version, so I'm going to have a type window equals int pointer. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And so SDL window, going to say let create with a title, which is a string, x, which is an int, y int, w int, h int, flags uint 32. We're gonna give it, spit out a window, and we're just gonna call SDL window native. Now this is where I'm going to have to pin the array, int 0, x, y, w, h, flags. So how can we where did it go? It's in there. I'm going to add a new item here. It's code SDL utility. And that's going to go above everything for because how do I really have a here's a alright. I'm going to take a string. Alright. So I've got a string, so with UTF-8 string, so I've got text in a string, and I need a function. I need a func which takes a I need system text and native. I don't really need native interrupt, do I? Or do I? I perhaps need system, but there's going to be a function that is going to call. That's going to do, instead of right here, it's going to do func. Func ptr. So bytes. Oh, it's going to be 10. Okay. Is that in system? Open system. So there's that. Okay, so we've got the pinned array. And func is going to be a native int to uint. So it's just a native int, and then I don't know about this. ptr dot. I'll put system here. Okay. System int ptr. Well, it kind of, does it work? How do I convert this? Oh, I think alright. So this is one of those things where native PTR has okay, I'm going to just cast it then, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, so the func and do a native pointer unit. What kind of got a native int? Really? Native pointer. I need that. Okay. Well, we're gonna see what happens, because a func takes an int ptr, returns a t. So let result equal func pointer and result. Huh, looks like it might be okay. Alright, so now we're gonna put this back in SDL air. Oh my goodness, one of these days. And then this could be written in a very different way. It could be result equal this and put it into func. Okay, hold on, I will. Let result. There's no need to keep this around. Func. So take the pinned array, get the address of it, pump it through func. That's the result. I do need to free the pinned array, and then I return result. And that is exactly what I need to do. Oh, you ever get nervous? I get nervous. Alright. So, we're just going to, we'll open SDL utility. Open SDL utility. And we're going to take put the text second with UTF-8 string. I don't even know. Alright, so we're going to take the text, we're going to pass it to the function. So error string SDL utility dot with UTF-8 string fun PTR fix that, ignore, and what do? We return with UTF-8 string. Huh? Enter to A. Alright, we're too clever. It's gonna do some nothing. Gah. Huh? We'll take it, and we're gonna hope it works. But shouldn't it work with a T? I mean, really. Build and work. Darn you. Okay, you're built. That's one of those. Okay, one of those things where it just needs to compile. Oh wait. All right. Anybody else afraid? SDL utility with UTF-8 string. I'm doing a title. Shove that into. Oh, see. Shove that into with UTF-8 string fun PTR. Do this. PTR. And work. It can't work. I know it can't. Well, that was, no. Let destroy. A window, which is a window. Equals still destroy window. Window. Oh, let's steal window native. Do that. Done. Alright. So we, in theory, have successfully created and destroyed a window. Okay, I'll let main window, SDL window, create. Test. There are these values, but we'll just go 0, 0, 640, 480. And what are... I know we've got these video values. SDL shown, SDL hidden, SDL window borderless minimized. We're going to need some of this stuff. Call it 4. Do it 4. And SDL window dot destroy main window. 4, which not good enough. You went 32. Well, all right. Let's see if this blows up. Okay, we've done this. Boom. Exception was unhandled. Type system exception. What was? Thanks so much. With oh, no deal. I'll export. Okay. If we can. That one's simple. Didn't put my decals back. I didn't put my dual import. Okay. Let's Yeah, oh, you didn't tell me where that function was. Yeah, I can compile it, but you better tell me where it is. Okay. So, did it make one? My goodness, look at you. You're a window? You're a window. That's not much. That's a window, though. And it'll destroy the window. Window's gone. It's gone. Whoo-wee, look at that. And even put the, wow. Oh, and I don't need any of that. Well, looky there. Look at that. I mean, sure, there's a lot more to go before we're really, really useful here. But that's a window. There's a window, and it had the title of test. I know it did. And we're going to go out on top. I'm pretty sure in creating a render, I'm going to have some sort of major melting down and something I can't figure out, I'm sure, because I'm not familiar with render. Back when I previously used SDL, you'd just say SDL create display surface or something of that nature, and that would make your window and everything else, and everything would be nice and happy. Well, and also, so we created and destroyed the window, and I want to add the window flags enum. And we'll even move that up here. We'll create render, destroy render, and wait event. And then, my goodness, I may actually be able to do something. Wouldn't that be swell? So I'm feeling a little more confident here. I feel like we got some cool stuff going on. And I've even got my, hey, here's a, call this here operation with a pointer. Take a string, make an int pointer out of it with a UTF-8 string. And so that's good. It's all in one spot. I may need to move over this thing, this monstrosity, but actually I'm pretty sure I will, because you start to have some of the other window set title kind of function calls. But hey, it's something on the screen. It's not much, and yes, I know. Well, this is a string, isn't it? So we can get rid of that. Is that right? Always does that. Okay. Do you still build? Do you? You do. You still run by flashing. Just ever so barely. Might not even be able to see it on the video. Flashing a window very briefly. So yeah, alright, we're getting somewhere. It's not much, but it's a start, and I don't feel completely hopeless. Next time, definitely renders and events, so we have just a bare minimum event loop. Should be interesting, and then we can start on things like bitmaps and actual calls to draw some graphics on the screen, which means we can start to get to something that's more like a real game rather than, hey, here's how to p-invoke and a bunch of stuff. But I hope it's been illustrative of some of the difficulties that can be encountered when dealing with a native library in .NET code, and specifically in F#. It's really not all that different from p-invoking in C# with a couple other little gotchas. So thanks for watching. See you next time.